So now we are going to make a sail kind of thing using wafer paper, and it's really very interesting. So I have the wafer paper here. We're just going to make a very liquid consistency paste out of wafer paper and water, that's it, and we're just going to process it together to make a very thin runny paste, and that I'm just going to cook it on a flat tawa, and we're just going to have a beautiful sail which is going to be kind of pliable a bit, and we could just fold it, and the texture that comes out of it with a lot of pores on it looks really very interesting, and that we will be adding it on the cake, and so it looked like that is giving out a lot of movement as we are adding that as one decorating element. It could be part of many others that you could add it on the cake. However, just going to use only this and then add it on our white ganache double barrel cake. Okay, so I have the wafer papers here. I'm just going to use 5 of them because I'm looking at quite a few sails. So if you're seeing the wafer paper for the first time, then that is how it looks, like an A4 sheet in the same size as well, and one of the side is quite smooth and then the other side is quite rough. And when you're using, you could use wafer papers for a lot of things to decorate on the cake, and depending on whatever you're using, it could be either the plain, the smooth side or the rough side. Now for us it doesn't matter, we're just going to tear the wafer paper first into relatively smaller size pieces. Okay, so I have the bits of wafer paper. I'm just going to get the jar of the food processor, the mixie, and then add the bits of wafer paper into the jar. And then I have the water. I'm just going to pour the water in. Both the jars have the measured water for all the 5 wafer paper. Okay, it's going to close the lid and then process it fully. So let me just check whether it's processed well. It should just look like a starch liquid. Okay, I think it's good. I'm just going to run it through one more time just to be sure. So I'm just going to divide this liquid, the runny paste, right, into 2 bowls because I'm going to make 2 colors, one in brown and one in yellow. I mean, you could do it in one color in case you have to just mix 2 colors together, like you don't want to do it in the same bowl. You can just divide and so have I'm going to pour both the colors into the same tawa as it's just going to cook it, and let's see how the colors are going to turn up. I'm just going to add just a bit. There's still some gel in this. I'm just waiting to see what color this turns to. So the brown is done. For the yellow, so just color the paste now. Now I'm just going to set the stove on top, and then I'll just get back and I'm going to actually make the tuile. So I have the single burner stove here. You could do it in your regular gas stove. It's heating up. Okay, so I'm just going to keep it in the simmer, and the tawa that you're going to use has to be like kind of really very flat. And why I haven't used an induction stove here, because a tawa that could go along with the base that is suitable for the induction stove has a bump in the middle, and when you're going to pour this liquid, it just needs to spread out flat. And tawa that has the base suitable for induction is going to get the liquid spread out on the edge, and the center is not going to have the liquid that we are going to pour. And so you just need a tawa which is not having the I think it's the holes from a metal that is suitable for the induction stove, and this one doesn't have. It's like an iron tawa which is flat. So you just need to be sure and maybe pour water and check if it is just flowing on the sides, then you may not be able to get a good crinoline. And now it's like quite hot, so I'm just going to go in and then start pouring in the liquid, just spread it out. I'm just going to add in some yellow as well. So I'm just going to wait until all the moisture just goes away, and increase the flame a bit, and it will dry up by itself, and it will lift itself out of the tawa, the pan, and we just need to keep cooking it until then. You start seeing the edges here are just dried up now. Eventually the whole thing will just dry up after all the water evaporates. See, the half of the tuile is just cooked up now. It's almost done. I'm just going to wait for this last few parts to cook up fully. You can see it's already lifting itself out of the pan. Now all the moisture is just gone. I'm just going to try and see the whole thing comes out of the tawa. It looks so beautiful. It is quite hot. So I just have a plate and I'm just going to put this on the plate and then allow it to cool down a bit, and only after which it's just going to turn a bit soft. Until then it could be brittle. Now if it is brittle at this stage, it's fine, you haven't done anything wrong. So let's just do one more. So the second one is done as well. Let me just lift it up. So it's coming out of the tawa beautifully, and that's how it looks. You can see how nice the pores look. Very interesting texture it has. Okay, and this I'm just going to put it on top of the plate, and I'm going to continue making more of this, and then I will get back in the lesson where I'm going to use the tuile on the white ganache cake.